Happy Wednesday, third grade. I hope you're having a good day. We finished Bible and now we've got math and reading groups later today. Okay, so yesterday we had that fun start to pictographs. We did our ice cream one, our favorite flavors, and then we did how many frogs were in Pharaoh's house, right? Who remembers which bedroom had the most frogs? Do you remember? I have to look. The bedroom, I was going to say the kitchen, but it was the bedroom had the most, right? Okay, so today we're doing a pictograph review, and we're doing, guess what our picture is today? Polar bears. So that'll be fun. We'll see how much each polar bear is worth, okay? All right, so make sure you have your math book. Make sure you have a pencil. Remember how important that scratch paper is. And open up to page 223, 224. Make sure you're on the right page. Pause the video so that you can get all set. And then when you have it ready, push play. I am going to share our screen. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Okay, do you see our polar bears? This is how you know you're on the right page. Make sure you see the polar bears. Okay, so we are going to do the front together. And before we even read the top little paragraph, I want to see who can remember what are the three parts of a pictograph. All right, the first part is the title. Tells us what is this pictograph going to be about, right? So who can read our title? Okay, read it with me. Here we go. Polar Bears Seen by Macmillan. Macmillan's probably his last name, right? Macmillan or Macmillan. Okay, what's our second part of a pictograph? We always have to have labels, right? So our labels last time with our ice cream one was our flavors, chocolate, vanilla, ice cream. Then the Pharaoh was the different bedrooms. What are my labels on here? First trip, second trip, third trip, fourth trip, fifth trip. Good. Without even looking at any little details, which trip did he see the most polar bears on? The fourth trip, right? Because that has the most polar bears. Which trip did he see the least amount of polar bears? His first trip, right? That's why pictographs are so fun, guys. You can just look at it and it tells you a lot of information as long as you're looking at the title and the labels. Okay, but who remembers what the most important part of our graph is? The scale. So let's see how much each polar bear is worth. Each polar bear really equals 6 polar bears. So we're going to be counting by 6s whenever we count up a row of bears. Last time with the frogs, it was really easy because we were counting by 10s. So I'm counting by 6s. All right, so we're going to need to make sure we're sharp on our 6 multiplication facts. Okay, so let's go back to the top here and let's read our little paragraph to explain what we're looking at. Admiral Donald B. Macmillan, so that is his last name, an American explorer, took 31 trips to the Arctic. Wow, so we didn't get all 31 plotted on this pictograph. While exploring Greenland and the Canadian Arctic, he saw many Arctic animals. Read the pictograph about hypothetical, supposed polar bears seen by Macmillan. The only reason they're adding in that hypothetical, supposed, is because they obviously didn't get these facts from his journals or reports. They're guessing. So there really was a man named Donald Macmillan who explored, but we don't know if this is the exact amount of polar bears that he saw. Okay, guys? All right, so let's go and look at our questions, and then we'll see how you guys do. Okay, so it says, write a multiplication sentence to show the number of polar bears seen. So remember, guys, I was saying we're counting by 6s, right? So if I look at the first trip, do you see my 6s written on those bears? What would be the multiplication fact to get me the answer if I was trying to get 4 6s? Because yeah, there's 4 polar bears. Right, I would just do 4 times 6, right? What is 4 times 6, friends? 4 times 6 is 24, or 6 times 4 is 24. Okay, everyone write that. Okay, second trip, there were more polar bears. How many 6s do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 6s. So that means this multiplication sentence is going to be 6 times 6. What's 6 times 6? 6 times 6 is 36. 6 times 6 is 36. 6 times 4, 24. 6 times 6, 36. Okay, let's look at third trip. I'm going to use blue on this one. Let's see how many 6s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One less than the second trip. So 5 6s, or 5 times 6, is how much? 5 times 6 is 30. Good job. All right, and now we're going to do the fourth trip. I'll use, what color haven't I used yet? Let's use pink. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 6s. What is 6 times 8, or 8 times 6? 6 times 8 is great 48. 6 times 8 is great 48. Okay, all right. For some reason, they didn't ask us the fifth, but let's figure out the fifth just for our sake, because it'd be kind of fun, right? Okay, so I'll use orange. We haven't used orange yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, look, it's the same as our second trip, huh? 6 times 6 is 36. Okay, so that's our last one. We didn't have to do that, but just so, and you can see how the bears line up, the orange bears with the green bears. See how they line up? We know there's exactly the same amount of bears spotted. All right, let's look at question E. How many bears were seen on both first trip and second trip? Okay, so how many on the first trip? Go back to your answer for A. 24. How many for our second trip? 36. So how many were seen on both trips? What should I do? Add. Good job. So I'm going to add it there on the side. 24. Let me use black here. 24 plus 36. Okay, let's see what we get. 6 plus 4 is 10. Carry my 1. 3, 4, 5, 6. Good job. 60. Oh, but friends, I wasn't even thinking. They wanted us to do a multiplication sentence for that. They didn't want us to do an adding. So let's count how many bears there were in both of these trips. Let's count how many bears. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 bears times 6 is 60. Isn't that fun? We can get the same answer doing it different ways. Okay, let's look at our next part. How many more bears were seen on the fourth trip? Okay, so I'm looking at here, than the third trip. Okay, so let's erase this top part. We don't need to look at this anymore. Let's just look at the third trip and the fourth trip. That's what we're focusing on. How many more bears were seen on the fourth trip? So let's draw a little line right here. This is where they match up, right? Bear for bear. Then it shows you, if you look at what's on the other side of that black line, how many extra bears, how many extra pink bears? 3, right? So what would be my multiplication sentence for that? 3 times 6 is 18. There were 18 more bears seen on the fourth trip than the third trip. You see how I did that, guys? I just found where they lined up and then looked at what was on the other side. Okay, so now it says, use multiplication to find out the number of bears seen in all. That means we're going to have to add up all these bears. Okay, are we ready? So let me erase some of these black lines here because we'll start counting them off again. Okay, let's count how many bears. Ready? Got to count careful. I like to cross as I count. That way I make sure I don't overcount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. There were 29 total bears. So what would be my multiplication sentence? 29 times 6. Yeah, because each bear is still worth 6, right? Okay, let's multiply. 6 times 9 is 54. 6 times 9, 54. 6 times 9 is 54. 6 times 2? 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 5 is 17. So I got 174 bears total. Aren't these fun, guys? I love these pictograph pages. Tomorrow, I can't wait for our page that we're gonna do. You can sneak and peek at it if you want. Okay, all right, so let's look at the back. We are gonna do a couple together and a couple by yourself. You guys are showing so much improvement with your practicing. Now, if you haven't been doing the ones I'm circling, you need to start doing them, okay? So make sure, otherwise I'm gonna give you extra. You don't want extra, right? So make sure you're doing the minimum of what I'm asking. Okay, so we're gonna do, we need to do our multiplying fractions because that's our new thing. So I'm gonna let you pick, let's see, I'll do E, and you can pick if you wanna do, so you can't pick E. So you can pick 2 out of these. So you pick 2, A, B, C, or D. You have to pick 2 of them, okay? So let me erase this, and I'll say pick 2, okay? 2 from this section. Let's do E together, okay? So I need to make a fraction, make 1, 14 over 1 times 1/6. Is there anything I can cross cancel? There sure is. 14 and 6 are both even numbers. That means I can divide by 2. 2 can go into 6 3 times. 2 can go into 14 7 times. And now I can just multiply. 7 times 1 is 7. 1 times 3 is 3. It's improper. Let's put our 7 in the division house and let's divide. How many 3s can go into 7? Good job, 2. 3 times 2 is 6. Subtract, I get 1. So my answer is 2 1/3. That is my answer for letter E. Okay, so you circle A, B, C, or D, pause the video and try 2 of those, okay? If you pick one like this, remember you have to multiply sideways. 5 times 7 is 35. 35 plus 2 is 37, okay? So make sure that if you pick one of those, make sure you're doing that. Okay, pause the video, finish those. Okay, moving on. Let's look at our multiplication. Okay, friends, we haven't done a triple digit in a while. So let's do a triple digit together, okay? 9 times 8 is 72. 9 times 8, 72. What's 9 times 7? 9 times 7 is 63. What is 63 plus 7? 70. Good job. 70. 9 times 9 is 81. 9 times 9, 81. 81 plus 7, 88. Good job. All right, make sure you're being real neat with lining them up. Okay, I'm gonna erase those numbers on top. I'm gonna change my color pen, draw my 0, and let's multiply by our 6. 6 times 8 is great 48. 6 times 8 is great 48. What's 6 times 7? 6 times 7, 42. 6 times 7, 42. What's 6 times 7? 42. 42 plus 4, 46. And then 6 times 9, you remember that? 6 times 9, 54. 54 plus 4, 58. Okay, so your 5 should be hanging out on the outside. Everything else should be lined up perfectly. If it doesn't look lined up like mine, if it starts to go slanty or something, you need to erase it and reline it up, because that's where I'm seeing people make mistakes, okay? All right, so now I'm gonna erase my numbers on top, and I'm gonna put 2 zeros on the bottom. Okay, and now we're multiplying by our 8. 8 times 8, I ate and ate and got sick on the floor. 8 times 8 is 64. Yes, 8 times 8, 64. 7, 8, 56. 7, 8, 56. 5, 6, 7, 8. 7 times 8 is 56. What's 56 plus 6? 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62. Okay, so another 6 on top, a 2 underneath. What's 9 times 8? 9 times 8 is 72. 72 plus 6 is 78. Okay, so let's add this up. Now see how my 7 is sticking out, but every other number is lined up exact. Okay, so I'm going to change to black and we're going to add this up. 2 plus 0 plus 0, 2. 8 plus 0, 0, 8. 6 plus 4 is 10. 10 plus 8 is 18. What's 8 plus 2, friends? 10. 10 plus 8, 18. One more, 19. Don't forget that 1 on top. All right, 8 plus 1 is 9. 9 plus 5, 14. 4, carry my 1. And our last one, 7 plus 1 is 8. So we got 849,882. Okay, you pick between H or I. Do one of those. All right, let's do one long division together, and then you're going to do one by yourself. Okay, so I'm going to do this one, the first one. Drawing my lines on top. Remember, always draw your lines on top, so get those on. Tell me when you're ready. Remember, if I went too fast on that multiplication, rewind it and watch it again. That's the coolest thing about these videos, guys. You're in control. You don't have to wait for anyone. You just rewind and keep rewatching it. And I encourage you to do that. Okay, here we go. Can 13 kids go into 5 desks? No way. Can 13 kids go into 57 desks? Yes, how many 13s do we want to guess? Well, 57 and 13 is almost 10, so 4 or 5. What do you guys want to try? Let's try 4. 4 times 3 is 12, carry my 1. 4 times 1 is 4 plus 1 is 5. Good guess, Mrs. Roach. Okay, so let's do 52. Subtract, what's 7 minus 2? 5. Ooh, look at this, it's so cool. 52. Well, we know what makes 52, 4. Subtract, I get 0, bring down my 1. How many 13s can go into 1? None, right? So none is 0. Make sure you put that 0 on top. When I subtract, I'm going to have my 1 remainder. Remainder 1. Okay, so remember, guys, this is divide and check, so I need to check it, right? I'm going to check it on the other side of the 5 so I don't take up space by that B. Okay, so I'm going to do 440 times 13. Okay, let's try it. 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 4 is 12. Carry my 1. 3 times 4 is 12 plus 1 is 13. I'm going to erase my number on top. I'm going to draw my 0. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 4 is 4. And 1 times 4 is 4 again. Let's add these up. 0 plus 0. Actually, let me make that line a little bit closer if I can. Just because it's a little tight there. Okay, 0 plus 0 is 0. 2 plus 0 is 2. 3 plus 4 is 7. And 4 plus 1 is 5. And then I'm off because I need to add that 1. If I add 1 to it, I'm going to get 5,721. I couldn't really fit it there so great. That's why I put it on the side there. So, but this would equal that top number because you just have to add 1. All right, good job, friends. Okay, so let's look at B. We did a money spent one last time, so let's do a fraction one. Okay, so it says, Emily saw a dollhouse that was on sale at 1/5 off the price. Off, think of it as off of the price, right? Of 115. What is the cost of the dollhouse now? So guys, remember this, 1/5 of $115. And since that's not a fraction, we have to make one, right? What does of mean, 3rd grade? It means times. So all I have to do is cross cancel this. It's going to get me the answer. I know 5 can go into 115 because they both end in 5, right? Okay, so let's divide. 115 divided by 5. How many 5s can go into 11? 2. 10 subtract, I get 1. Bring down my 5. How many 5s can go into 15? Exactly 3. Good job. So when I cross cancel here, how many 5s can go into 5? 1. How many 5s can go into 115? 23. Okay, so I'm going to erase this just so I have some more room. I would have done this on my scratch paper just because it's a little, takes up a lot of space. Let's multiply top times top, bottom times bottom. 1 times 23 is 23. 1 times 1 is 1, but 23 over 1 is the same thing as 23. Okay, now here's my challenge. Did the dress cost $23? No, because this showed us 1/5 of 115 or off of. So this is how much she got off of the price. So here's the 115 and they took off $23. Does that mean she's going to owe more or less? She's going to owe less. So what do we do whenever it's less? Subtract. Okay, so I'm taking that total price and I'm taking off this. Okay, so what's 5 minus 3? 5 minus 3 is 2. I have to, bigger bottom, better borrow, right guys? Cross off my 1, make it a 0. This becomes an 11. Don't make it a 10. A lot of kids do that. 11 minus 2 is 9. So $92 is how much the dress costs, even after the 1/5 was off. So sometimes we look at something and we go, ooh, it's 1/5 off. We think it's going to be way cheaper, and still it's kind of expensive there, $92, right, for that dollhouse. Okay. Oh, did I say dress a second ago? I think I did. I wasn't thinking. So this was the dollhouse she bought. Okay. All right, friends. So down here, I am going to let you pick any 4 you want. Any 4 from number 7. Okay, so you circle the 4 you want to do. Make sure you reduce. If you pick those fractions because they look easy, make sure you reduce because there's a lot of cross canceling. And if you do the addition or subtraction, go slow. Don't get the easy ones wrong. All right? Okay, take your time. Go very slow. Do those ones I showed you. They are mandatory. Mandatory means you have to do them. Okay? And then when I check with you, we'll go over. If any of them are tricky, put a little question mark next to them and be like, this one messed me up. I didn't know how to solve it. And then I'll know, we'll focus on that one first, okay? But I am gonna check all of these when we do our call, okay? So today is reading group. If we have time, we'll check it there. If not, Thursday is gonna be my double check, okay? All right, but don't forget to ask me. If there's one that stands out, and you go, man, that whatever, 7B really messed me up, or 7F, have me go over that with you first, but you'll forget. So you have to put like a question mark or like a star or something next to the ones that are extra tricky, okay? All right, friends, I will see you on Thursday or reading group if I haven't seen you yet. Okay, bye, friends.